Hey guys, welcome back into the Stokastic YouTube channel. My name is Geoff Ulrich, and in this video, we're going to be talking a little bit of Sunday night football for Week 17 specifically. We're going to be talking no house advantage, and if you're new to no house advantage, there's a couple different ways to play on the site. In this video, we're going to be talking about their Pick'em contest, which is a DFS prop style offering. We're taking a bunch of props from their site. We're going to make decisions on them. We're going to stick them in the lineup, assign them different values, and then put them in a big contest to play against a bunch of other players for big prizes. And for this Sunday night football, they got a 10K guaranteed, 5K to first contest. No's Advantage has been putting up nice contests for every single primetime slate of the year. And look, we got the playoffs coming up. We got a bunch of like showdown type single game slates to look forward to. It's a great time to get in on No's Advantage. And if you're new to the site, you can use promo code Stokastic when you're signing up there. You get a $100 free match deposit bonus. Great way to build that bankroll. Great way to try out the site. Again, promo code Stokastic. It's up to $100 now, $100 match deposit bonus. Really recommend checking that out right now because, again, you don't know how long these bonus offers last, guys. So a couple different ways to play on the site. Like I said, there is the versus the house contest as well. We have projections up for that on Stokastic.com. There's NBA slates, there's NFL slates. So lots of different ways to play up on No House Advantage. Like I said, in this video, we're going to be focusing in on the Pick'em contest. So we'll talk a little bit of strategy. Also use some of those free projections up on Stokastic.com. Do me a favor, smash that like button, subscribe to the Stokastic YouTube channel if you haven't done that already. Let's get into this game a little bit. We got the Steelers visiting the Ravens here. Now, these two teams played to an absolutely ugly game in the first meeting between these two teams. The line for this right now, it's sitting at +2 for Pittsburgh. This line has come down. It's really shrunk. A lot of money coming in on Pittsburgh, so that's kind of interesting. Really, really low total at 35 points. You know, the weather doesn't look too bad, so it wouldn't shock me if we get a little bit more scoring here, a little bit looser action than we saw in the first meeting between these two teams. Doesn't mean we have to go nuts with our props, but I think that both these secondaries definitely gettable. Very good run defenses. Both rush defenses really profile funnel to the pass kind of system. So let's see what we can do here. Let's look at some props and let's get into it. And we're going to start with our guy, Kenny Pickett here. He's played pretty good. You know, he came back from injury, actually looked really competent in his last start. He's grading out well. I like Kenny Pickett, but you know, if you're going to target Kenny Pickett props, he's got a very big passing prop on No House Advantage. I don't necessarily want to fade that. What I would fade with Kenny Pickett is the passing touchdowns, at 1.5 passing touchdowns. Has Kenny Pickett even gone over this once this year? I don't know. It's been close. I know he definitely didn't go over it in his last start. Pickett has been just not throwing that much in the red zone. They play really conservative when they get there. He had one passing touchdown against Vegas, one passing touchdown against Atlanta. He just has not been throwing for a lot of passing touchdowns. So, you know, Kenny Pickett at 1.5 passing touchdowns. I fully expect this to be a popular prop, but I don't know if I necessarily want to fade it either. I think you take the under on Pickett. Like I said, if you're going to be a little bit contrarian with Pickett, maybe think about going over on the yards instead. I could definitely see a few more catches, like a little bit looser defenses, like I said, but I don't necessarily want to take a chance with the passing touchdowns there. Again, Steelers just too conservative when they get in the red zone. They like to run the ball there as well. So under 1.5 passing touchdowns for Pickett, obviously projecting out as a good play for us. And let's stick with the Steelers and let's stick with the under here. Let's go to our guy, Najee Harris, 53.5 rushing total. Now, this doesn't sound that big, but again, you are playing one of the best rush defenses in the league here in Baltimore, and we don't have to go back far to see what Najee Harris did against this Baltimore defense. 12 carries, 33 yards in Week 14. That's hashtag not good. And really, Harris has not been getting there unless he gets big volume. This has just not been a good season for him. He's running behind a bad O-line. I don't think he looks terrible or anything, but you know, 53 yards last week on 16 carries. That's not the kind of efficiency that's going to get you there against Baltimore. It's a really good rush defense, 53.5. It may sound like a small total for a main carry running back who is getting, you know, in the vicinity of 12 to 20 touches every week. But man, you may need 24 touches to get over 53.5 against Baltimore. I don't want to project him for that. I'm going to go under this. I think you'll see the passing offenses do more of the work here. And I think taking the under on Harris is completely fine as well. All right, like I said, I do think that there's going to be a little bit more passing in this game. I think there'll be a little bit looser offense. So let's target a couple overs here to end off. And Pat Freiermuth at 3.5 receptions. This is just way too low for me. Had 7 receptions in his last game with Kenny Pickett back. They have a good connection. Freiermuth's just a big target in the middle of the field. Baltimore, they just don't, historically, they just don't have good cover linebackers. Last couple years, especially, this is just a good matchup for Pat Freiermuth as well. So, like I said, trending well in the target department, out there playing a ton of snaps as well. Only went for 3 catches against Baltimore in the first game, but I think he can kind of write that game off a little bit, at least from the receiving aspect. I think you're going to see a little bit looser play in the secondary here. Certainly, these secondaries are attackable. And I think Kenny Pickett will probably do a little bit better job here in his second meeting against Baltimore. So Pat Freiermuth, over 3.5 receptions, like that one. I also wouldn't be scared to target like a George Pickens over on the receiving yards either. If you want to double up on a couple of these Pittsburgh wide receivers, I would not be shocked if a couple of these guys went over. We got low totals and a weak Baltimore secondary, like I said. Okay, last prop. Let's go to the Baltimore side. We haven't talked about them at all. I don't know what to do with Tyler Huntley in this game. Probably fading his passing total is okay, but it's kind of a similar situation with Pickett. I don't think he'll be as bad against this defense as he was the first time when he threw for, I think, 88 yards. So, again, let's target Demarcus Robinson because Demarcus Robinson has been basically his focal point here. Mark Andrews not doing anything really. Certainly didn't do anything against the Steelers in the first matchup, but we do have Demarcus Robinson here trending with a pretty good target share. 5 catches on 6 targets in the first matchup against Pittsburgh as well. And Robinson's been a little bit up and down, but that's just a product of this Baltimore system as well. It's run first. They get ahead. They're going to run the ball. I think they're going to have to throw a little bit against Pittsburgh. And the Steelers secondary is not good either. So 2.5 receptions for Demarcus Robinson. Like that for an over. Could probably target his yards as well. But I do think going over on 3 or 4 receivers here, it's going to be a good contrarian move. We got low totals. We got weak secondaries. I don't think a lot of people are doing that. So I'm looking at guys like Freiermuth, Pickens, Demarcus Robinson, good over targets for this game, and potentially a good way to build out a bit of a contrarian lineup as well. Because again, funnel to the pass. Can't state that enough. Both these defenses very good against the run, not so good against pass. So, okay, let's do a quick recap. We're going to go Kenny Pickett under 1.5 passing touchdowns, Najee Harris under 53.5 rush yards. We're going to go Pat Freiermuth over 3.5 receptions, and then Demarcus Robinson over 2.5 receptions as well, taking advantage of some of these low props on the receivers. Again, we got free projections over on Stokastic.com for No House Advantage. And if you're new to No House Advantage, don't forget, guys, promo code Stokastic will get you a $100 free match deposit bonus right off the top. I'd recommend taking advantage of that right now. Hope you guys have a great Sunday night football for Week 17. Only a couple weeks left of the regular season. My name is Geoff Ulrich. We'll talk to you soon.